What is going on YouTube? Happy Friday night to everybody. I'll make this video quick so you can get out and have some fun and stop stressing about these marketplaces. We need to talk about why the markets are rallying because they are pumping and pumping hard. Go ahead and look at the SPX. Look at this pump on the SPX. The Nasdaq's doing the same, but it is a little bit more muted because tech has been throttled because tech is high growth and this is not the environment for high growth. But let's look at the article. Everybody on the business news was talking about the PCE, the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index. This is the Fed's favorite inflation measure. It rose 4.9%, almost 5% in April, and a sign that price increases could be slowing because they measure this year over year. Remember, these are very manipulated reports, but let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. Inflation, pun intended. The Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge rose 4.9% in April from a year ago, a still elevated level that nonetheless indicated that price pressures could be easing a bit, the Commerce Department reported Friday. That increase in the core personal consumption expenditures price index was in line with expectations and reflected a slowing pace from the 5.2% reported in March. So in other words, March year over year, it was 5.2% up. Now it's 4.9% up. This doesn't include food and energy. Remember that. So including food and energy, headline PCE rose 6.3% in April from a year ago. That was a deceleration from the 6.6% pace the previous month. So again, everybody's excited about a 0.3% decline year over year in a manipulated report. Why is this important? Because the markets are rallying and they're talking about it on TV. Now let's see if this is justified. We need to look at the Nasdaq. Remember, the highest correlation to Bitcoin in the history of Bitcoin is this year with the Nasdaq. So let's go ahead and examine this. Where are our targets on the Nasdaq? Can we determine if this is just a bear rally or does it have legs and we're going to have a melt up and go to some crazy number in the Nasdaq like 20,000? Well, let's look at this, guys. So let's go ahead and grab our trend-based fib from March 15th up to March 29th. Down to your swing low, May 20th, okay? You can see exactly where price is getting above the 0.5 fib at 12,653. Now, looking at my targets, I have here laid out the primary fibs, okay? The 322.5, 618, 1618. These are the primary fibs. When you look at this, we need to look at a couple of things. Volume divergence, guys. If you look at this pump right here and then look at the volume, this was the third strongest bear market rally in stock market history. Let's go ahead and measure this and then look at your volume down, left to right, and this makes a top when you hit resistance. These tops can run up. These are bear market rallies, but it will make a top when it finds key resistance, okay? Let's go ahead and measure this. This was what, a 10%, 13% move? 18% move. This was an 18% move up on extremely low volume. You see the big candle bars, small volume bars, and they keep decelerating, yet price keeps going. Now remember, price can lie, volume cannot, okay? You have to look at volume. So let's look at this over here. Where could we go? Well, let's see if we have any Fibonacci patterns that we can look at. Any harmonic structures. Gann wrote a lot about harmonic structures in the marketplace. Let's take an ABCD pattern, okay? So here's your A, here's your B, here's your C. Let's bring our D point up to the 1 fib, okay? A 100% retracement from the move. Try to get right just about there. Look at the beautiful harmonic structure you just made. You have the 1618, the golden ratio phi, and the 618. This is a clear target for resistance, the 1 fib 13,815. This is a clear target. Your 233 is descending, your 200 is descending, and if you did get more bullish than this here on the Nasdaq, the 1618, if we go ahead and pull this all the way up, is right here, a 100% retracement from this B to D leg. You see this? A 100% retracement. So I really like this right here at the 618. This makes a lot of sense. It's a beautiful harmonic structure. You can see the pattern here, and this would be your target for price to hit your 233, possibly find key resistance and begin to roll over. Now, if we measure out this move, let's go ahead and measure what this move would be. Let's see where we're at with this move. This move would be, once again, a 20% move. So this is a 20% move up. This is a massive move in an index. Okay, this would be a 20% move up. We'll have to see if these markets can hold their bullish symmetry or their bullish nature for next week. But this is good for Bitcoin. The higher this goes, the more likely Bitcoin's going to pump. Bitcoin hasn't been moving, but this is really key to watch. So let me go ahead and show you something. Let's throw on total crypto cap here. Let's go do this. Let's do total crypto cap. Look at the correlation between these two assets. Let me go ahead and give us a little bit more screen space here. Now, I mean, let's just start from here. Look at this. So as we know, the Russell, the Nasdaq, Bitcoin, tech, digital tech and tech, they all made their all-time highs in November. I mean, look at the symmetry in the markets. Remember, Bitcoin, the orange line here, is going to be a lot more volatile. But you can see that it's following the same exact patterns. The dips, the rises back up, and then the dip, and then the rise back up. It's just going back and forth with the Nasdaq. You can see it here, going up and down, up and down. Now Bitcoin went down further. The Nasdaq starting to rally. Bitcoin appears to be lagging. I think it's going to rally, guys. These markets all rallied. This was a good week. The last couple days were fantastic days, even though there's a lot of volume divergence. But remember, Bitcoin is considered by the hedge funds and the big banks a risk asset. So that may be the lagging indicator. So Bitcoin really needs to get moving. You're getting near that crucial time where it has to get moving. If it doesn't start moving, these markets will find the top, and depending how strong they pump, how quickly they move up, that top could arrive sooner rather than later. Let's go ahead and jump over to Bitcoin. Here on the weekly time frame, you can see, I mean, everything still looks the same. Obviously, it's Friday night, but you know, we're at 28,722 the time of this recording. That target I really like is 40,694 for a move up. And if we go over to our daily, we did fall just below our Gann line here, okay? So again, this Gann line is crucial. This is the last rung in the Gann fan, as you can see when you zoom out, the last rung for support in the Gann fan. So really want to get back above that. Bitcoin is acting, you know, weaker than the Nasdaq. It's acting weaker than the markets right now. But again, it's a lagging indicator in this case because it is considered a risk asset. So those key targets we're looking at 31,185, 0.5 at 32,991, the 618 at 34,798, and of course the 1 fib at 40,645 here on the daily of the 200, 233 moving down. This doesn't concern me yet, okay? I'm not concerned yet at this juncture. Let's lay out our support fibs just to see exactly where we're at here. And we can go to this blue candle, May 10th, go down to your swing low. What was that, May 12th? Then up to your swing high. You can see you're resting right on the 382. You see that? So you're resting right on the 382. We've already tested down here, down towards the 28K level, just to right about 28K, and we're resting on the 382. This is a down thrust outside of this little Wyckoff trading range. Let's see if we can pull back up into here and start moving up. Let's look at this through the 8-hour time frame, the lens here. You're resting on your Gann fan support right now. Again, getting a down thrust outside this range. Now, this is what we were talking about yesterday, this impact. We want to see if we can walk up the fan. You see this? We did this before. We walked up the fan and then it failed here at the top of the wave. What we want to see now that these markets are rallying, and maybe this will happen this weekend. Remember, weekends tend to be even lower volume. It is much easier to move price. You got big banks like JP Morgan saying there's more upside up to 38K. I said 37K yesterday. I saw their numbers. It's 38K. So they're saying there's more room to run up to 38K on Bitcoin. So we could see us start to walk up this line, and this will be key when we come into this area to see if we can really start penetrating this cloud, or if we're just going to come up, fail, come back through and start the process again, walk up the line and try to punch through at a weaker part of the cloud. And in that case, you're looking at, you know, the first week or two of June. So want to see this happen here because these markets will find the top. And if the Nasdaq pumps up and Bitcoin's still consolidating this whole time as the Nasdaq's pumping, and then the Nasdaq finds the top and starts falling, that 20% gain it just did, I mean, it paints a different picture. I'm not saying Bitcoin can't decouple and move and do what it's going to do anyways, but when you are the risk class asset and the other safer assets, Nasdaq maybe not being the best example of a safe asset, although people will argue Amazon, the FANG stocks, previously Netflix obviously got brutalized, but Amazon, Google, the big blue chip tech stocks could be considered safe by some people, not by me, but that's the argument on the street, right? So this is what we want to see happen here. Let's look at our indicators here on the 8-hour. 8-hour. Volatility is still very compressed. Everything is just flat. RSX is dipping down, which is nice because that means if you get to the oversold condition, obviously you could be moving up on a wave up, but everything's flat. Your volume's below average. Everything is pretty flat except for this one dump you had down to 28K, and you're rolling down. Now remember, price likes to roll down quite a bit before it moves up. It always likes to make that cup type pattern. You see it here, rolls down, makes your cup, boom, moves up, rolls down, makes your little cup, moves up. So we'll see if we do that again, our wave fashion back up to the upside. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, our targets are still descending, guys. I mean, if we break through this, fantastic on the 4-hour time frame. I showed you that previous chart. I mean, the 4-hour is the first critical test. And as you can see, just below our trading range box here, again, still above that 28K key support level, but we need to see that breakout. And you really got to watch the 8-hour time frame for this because clearly all signs are good for takeoff here in the 4-hour time frame. We're just not getting the lift off yet. And your 233 and 200 are almost on top of each other. And they're both roughly about 33.3, 33.4. Okay, right in that close range right here, just above the 0.5 fib at 32,991. That's your first key test, as I showed you on this chart, because in descending markets, the 200 and 233 can give you really big trades, okay? So you always want to look out for your 200 and 233 to catch these nice dissensions and get these big waves down. So this is what we're looking at right here. Pump up. Till we flip this. If we do flip it, got to look at the 8-hour. If we flip the 8-hour, got to look at that daily target and weekly. Remember that 40K number is where I really want to see this get to, but it's got to move, and it hasn't moved yet. It needs to get moving because the longer it takes, it's a tortoise and the hare. And in this case, you don't want to wait too long, okay? Slow and steady can win the race, but you don't want to wait too long. The markets will be moving, and we need Bitcoin to start moving as well. But as of right now, nothing fundamentally has changed. In a way, fundamentally, the only thing that's changed is more positive. The equities, particularly tech and risk, are moving up, as well as the SPX. The SPX, the broader market, is moving up extremely strong, okay? Big blue bullish candles, and this can come up substantially. This could come up to 43.43. Talk about symmetry in the market. 43.43. This is where this can move to. Notice the ratios are just slightly different. You got the 1.551 instead of the 1.618, and you got 0.644 instead of the 618. Still a lot of symmetry in this marketplace. I do think these two markets, the Nasdaq and SPX, and this volume divergence is huge. Look at this volume divergence. Volume going down. Look how nominal these candles are. These last two daily candles that gave you this huge up move in price. You see that? These last two candles are smallest in trend, and you're getting big bullish movements. Again, volume divergence. I think this is coming up to that 1 fib to impact the 233, 200 descending. Let's see if it can get up there. Might not get quite to the 1 fib if it hits the 233. It all depends on the marketplace. But all right, guys, 13 minutes. I'll shut up. Check out our room, the join button in the YouTube. Guys, you can check out our website, marketmakers.trade. Love to see you guys in the room. And definitely check out BitGet, link in the video description, as well as on our website. Over $4,000 in bonuses, no VPN, no KYC. It's where we trade. You guys have a fantastic weekend, and another video coming Sunday. Excited to make it. Let's see what happens, guys. Watch your targets, watch your price action, and talk to you guys soon. Take care.